My goodness, this is such a fascinating true story. How familiar with you were you with the laws of pinball back in the day, or were you not familiar at all? Just a fun game you played from time to time.
Yeah, I think much like everyone else when they first discovered it, I had no idea that it was banned. And when I read it and I found out, and then I immediately was like, wait a minute, is this real? And I researched it. I was shocked because it's really absurd. And I was also shocked that nobody knows about it.
Was there something that intriguing about Ellen, her relationship with Roger, the whole pinball aspect as well that really intrigued you to be a part of the film?
Yeah, I think during that time period, women struggled with finding like a strong sense of self and boundaries and stating their needs and also being feminine and graceful. That and also I think this is a struggle now, but especially in the 70s, that when the very first time they
Sorry, I don't know what happened there. So go ahead.
that when the on their very first date and she sits down and she says very clearly what she wants and desires, I think that at that point I fell in love with her. And I was like, oh yes, this is a woman that I want to play and I want everyone to watch, and she inspires me so. And that really happened. The real Ellen, was very, she would not let him sleep over unless Seth was asked. And Seth was the very first priority for her. And she was on welfare and she was struggling. And it was hard for her in the 70s to do that. So that was a big reason why I wanted to do the film.
It's so intriguing because they have this incredible meet cute in the elevator, which I thought was absolutely sweet. Talk about filming that particular scene.
So that scene was my very first scene that I filmed of the film. It was my very first day on set, and it was quick because we were running behind time. But we had rehearsed that. At the time we rehearsed it, Mike wasn't part of the production, it was another actor. And so we rehearsed it with the other actor. And I remember rehearsing it and feeling like, man, something's missing. This doesn't feel right. But we moved on and it was fine. And then when I got to set, I'm like, oh God, this is a different actor. I hope this is going to feel okay. And it was just like, oh, just magic. There's this tension in the silence that is palpable that I feel like really doesn't happen very often. And I knew from that point, I'm like, okay, game on. This is going to be fun. He can keep the ball up. I can keep the ball up. We can create this weird thing between each other. Um, and I think, at least I hope that you can see it in the film.
Yes, I was gonna say there is this palpable energy between the two of you sort of immediately. And then he said, I hope to work here. He's like, ask me in 5 minutes. And you're like, ask me on a date. There was a very cute and palpable moment between the two of you. So it definitely works. And you can feel it through the screen.
Oh, I really appreciate that. It makes me happy to know.
Well, of course, Ellen has a beautiful connection with Seth. Were you and Christopher Convery able to spend some time together before filming as well to sort of flesh out the mother-son bond you guys have?
Well, I was on a show called Gotham, and Chris also was on a show. We were on the same show together, and he played a son figure to me years before this. So he and I have a relationship from that that we had established. Although I was playing a villain and I tried to kill him, it was much different. But just being back on set with him was really wonderful, and to be in a nurturing, caring relationship with him was awesome. And we have a great relationship, so it came very easily. I'm not a mother, so it came. It was, I was nervous about that, but I think it went well.
There are some very sweet scenes. There's some very funny moments. And we talked about the elevator scene, which was a personal favorite for me. Are there specific scenes that really stand out as favorites for you?
Yeah. There's so many. So the scene at the end where we have a fight and Ellen confronts him with his inability to commit, we were able to rehearse that scene on set for a while, like a couple hours before we filmed it. And it wasn't about blocking and it wasn't about the camera angles. It was really about where these two people are coming from and who they are and intention. And I remember we all just sat on the floor with our scripts and we went through it line by line. And then when we filmed it, there was just one camera in the room and it was just Mike and I. And she's feeling so much at the moment and he's feeling so much at the moment, and it's heartbreaking. And there's a sense that when you're in a really emotional scene like that, all you can hope for is that your actor working opposite you can like be there for you and hold you up in some way. And we did that for each other. And so it wasn't the scene in particular that I'll always remember. It was just giving, as an like artist to artist, giving each other space to do whatever we wanted, to cry or scream or not say something or grab each other, is like this crazy mix of um magic that was like heartbreaking, that I think you're so vulnerable in that moment and that's all you can ask for. And so that was really something.
Well, Roger is quite a verbose person in real life. What was it like for you sitting through the incredible monologues that Mike had to go through?
Yeah. There, I think it's great. I mean, I love them. It's such a great part of the film and storytelling.
I love that there's a tongue in cheek where they give nod to the real Roger who's talks so much, and Dennis is like, they have to cut him off when he's
Yeah.
doing those. I think it lends to the real life Roger so well.
Yeah.
What do you hope viewers take away, or what do you hope lingers with them from watching Pinball?
I hope that they leave with a joy and just I think a lot of cinema and TV and content at the moment is sort of like fear-based, and I think while there's a space for that, and I certainly have done most of that in my career, um, there's also another space, and I think it's like telling stories that are kind of wholesome, that feel make you smile and laugh and like say you can say "aw." um and I hope to make more films like that, and I hope people can just walk away with a warm heart, if nothing else.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't say you've been a part of this iconic series of Teen Wolf for so long. What has that meant to you?
It's been a crazy journey. I think I'm always so taken aback by the fans, just because the loyalty is never ending. And the character I played, Allison, is so beautiful in so many ways. And so to be able to come back to her as a different yet but same person, and to have experienced 10 years of my personal life and then approach her with different eyes, is was really a gift. It's meant a lot. It's meant the world to me, to answer your question.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the wonderful work you do on our screens?
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Um, oh, I guess I just want to say thank you for trusting me, and that really um is nothing to do with me. I feel that I every time I before action I silently ask to remove my ego, and then whatever needs to come through me to affect people. So um I hope that those messages are coming through, and that I can just be helpful. That's all I want, is to be helpful.